Dawn, and I just colored my hair at home as I always do. And lately I've been getting a lot of questions on how I color my hair strawberry blonde at home. And lately you may have noticed that my hair had been looking blonder and blonder, and I've been getting some questions asking me how I've been getting the Nicole Kidman blonde hair at home. And I didn't realize that my hair was looking more blonde. You know, when you see yourself in the mirror all the time, you don't really notice little differences in yourself. But I did determine that my hair was looking more blonde because I'd been getting more blonde in my hair naturally as I'm turning gray. I'm a natural redhead, so I don't create the kind of melanin that creates steel or silver gray hair. Rather, my hair blondes out. It gets lighter and lighter till it turns white. So I'd been experiencing more white in my hair, and then when I was dyeing it with the typical formula that I've used in my past 2 videos, how I get strawberry blonde hair at home, it had been coming out more blonde than strawberry. So I did color my hair and I tweaked my formula a bit to add a little more depth to the color so it looks not quite so blonde. So I'm going to share with you what I did to get this color hair, and I'm going to share some tips on how you can get your very best at home hair color using Wella Color Charm from Sally's Beauty Supply. That's what I like to use. I use Wella Color Charm Cream Formula Color, and I use a Volume 20 Cream Developer. So I get everything I have here at Sally Beauty Supply. So I'm going to show you first what you need to get your best at home hair color, and then I'm going to walk you through the steps on how I color my hair to achieve the color I have right now. So let's just get started. The very first thing you are going to need is your color, and if you are specifically dyeing your hair strawberry blonde like I do, these are the 3 colors that I used this time. I used the same 2 I used in my past 2 videos, 8RG Titian Red Blonde, and again, this is the cream formula of Wella Color Charm. The liquid formula is a little too messy and too hard to deal with for me, so I go with the cream. So 8RG Titian Red Blonde, and then I have 8G Light Golden Blonde. And this is what I would typically use before. Sometimes I would alter the color of the blonde. I would use either honey blonde or sand blonde, but my favorite is the light golden blonde, so that's what I'm using today. And I'm adding one more color in, and it's 7G Sunlight Blonde Brown. And this is to add a little more depth to the color and make it not come out so blonde, but a little more strawberry. So you're gonna need your 3 colors. I like to use a cream developer again because it's easier to use than a liquid developer. And I just use one from Wella. It's the Wella Cream Developer Volume 20. And then I also purchase a Volume 10, and I can't find one at Sally's and Wella, so I buy the Ion Sensitive Scalp Volume 10 Developer. And what I do is I take a tiny bit of this, and I'll show you, and I mix it with the 20 to make a 15 to make my stubborn grays or whites to allow the color to adhere to them better. Now, if you use a lower number in your developer, it will not lift the color as much, which is great for gray hair. And if you use a higher developer, like a 30 or a 40, which I never do, it will lift the color more, but it will also be more harsh on your hair. So I use a Volume 20, and then I also have a Volume 10 just for the stubborn grays. And I'm about 10% gray, mainly in my temple and in the part, you know, around my hair. I have a few coming in. So the Volume 10 mixed with the 20 helps the color last a little longer. Then I have a squeezy bottle, and you can get one at Sally's, and this has 15 ounces in it. This is just your normal generic squeezy bottle. I always make sure I get a big size just so I can get all my color in here. Oh, and I also like that it's very squishy and pliable and easy to use. Then I always have one of these, and Then I always have a dish to mix a little color in if I need to, and a couple of these. And I like that it has this on the end because it makes it easy to create sections in your hair to apply the color on. And I like to mix the volume 20 and 10 developer here before I get started to add that onto the stubborn areas first. So, but some people like to pour all their color into these and then just dip and apply it that way. So whatever you're most comfortable with, but I like to have one of these on hand and definitely one or two of these. And then last but not least, I always have an after color treatment, and I do enjoy this one from Ion Color Brilliance After Color Treatment. It helps close your cuticle and lock color deep inside the hair. And I use this several times, the first few times after I wash my hair. It's like the kind of conditioner that comes in boxed hair dye, the kind that's really nice and it adds a lot of slip to your hair and adds conditioning back into your hair. So I really like this. I always they sell them in individual packets at the checkout counter if you don't want to commit to a full bottle, but I always like this, so I get a full bottle and then I just use it up. Well, I use it probably the first 4 or 5 times I wash my hair after coloring it, and then I use it once a week afterwards just for some extra conditioning, and I really like the Ion brand. And I thought that was the last thing. One more thing. I like to have a lot of these clips on hand. So after I work the color down to the roots, the tips of my hair, and I wrap it up, I can pin it up while it processes. So it's always a good idea to have some of these cheapy little clips that you can get at Sally's. I get big packs of them and I just pin my hair up as it processes. So I think that's everything you need. Oh, and a pair of rubber gloves. Make sure you have a pair of rubber gloves so you don't ruin your nails or get your hands yucky, and some coconut oil. And I like to put the coconut oil on the ends of my hair, and I like to put it on the perimeter of my face. So if any color gets there, it won't dye my skin or irritate my skin. All right, so that's everything you need. So now let's get started. I'm gonna be putting on my glasses so that I can see everything very, very clearly. And the first thing I'm going to do is take the Sunlight Blonde Brown, and I'm taking my applicator bottle and I'm just putting 2 big pea-size drops into here. 1, 2, actually let's put 3. Okay, so that is not a measurable amount. It's very tiny, but the reason I'm doing that is just to change the color of the light golden brown and make it not so, so light. And then I'm going to take my Titian Red Blonde, and this is the next color that I put the least of in. So the color I'm going to put the most of in is going to go last. And I find that the order that you put these in really does matter, because if I put the 2 drops of this on top of everything else, I'm never careful enough to make sure I get the right amount of developer mixed in and things like that. So now I'm gonna take the Titian Red Blonde and I'm just going to use whatever's in here already, and I'm gonna fill it up to the 1.5 mark. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the 1.5 ounces of the Titian Red Blonde into the applicator bottle. And I should leave a little behind in the bottle because there's 2 ounces of color in each bottle of the Wella Color Charm cream colors. Okay, I've got 1.5 ounces total in my bottle, and this is a 2-to-1 ratio. So you're gonna put 2 ounces of volume 20 cream developer to 1 ounce of Wella Color Charm dye. So 1 ounce of this would be 2 ounces of that. So since I have 1.5 ounces, I'm gonna fill this up to the 4 ounce mark, because 1 ounce, if I doubled it, would be 3. And then I have 1/2 ounce, so I'm doubling that. That would bring me to 4. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my volume 20 developer. And again, I buy the cream developer, not the liquid, because I find the cream to be so much easier to work with. Okay. So now I have 4 ounces in here, and now I'm adding the light golden blonde. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put the full 2-ounce tube in here. And I'm probably gonna have way too much dye left over because this is the amount I used when my hair was really long, and this is the first time I'm coloring my hair while it's so short. But I don't think you can really save the dye anyway once it's opened, so I'd rather just mix it all up and know that I have enough than save it and have to mix it up again later. And it should be at the 6-ounce mark, and it is. So now I'm gonna add 4 more ounces of the volume 20 developer because I added the full 2 ounces of the dye. So I'm gonna double that and add 4 more. So I'm at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I'm gonna fill it to the 10-ounce mark. Now at this stage, this is very important. You're gonna spend a lot of time mixing this because you want to make sure every drop is very well mixed into the formula, especially like those 2 little drops of the light brown at the bottom. You wanna make sure that they're thoroughly mixed in with everything else. It's like a recipe. Everything's gotta be mixed perfectly. So I just shake it up for a while. Okay, and it's the color of a candy corn that you would eat at Halloween time. And now I'm gonna take this little clip out of my hair. I'm going to comb through my hair to make sure I have no knots. I want the color to be able to get wherever it needs to be and not have any tangles or knots getting in the way. The next thing I'm doing is taking my coconut oil, and this is my virgin organic coconut oil. This is the only kind of coconut oil I buy, and I use it for so many different things, but one of the things is for my hair. So I put some on my hand like this and rub it together, and I put it all over the lower 1 inch of my hair because this part of my hair is going to be absorbing a lot of dye over time, and I really want to keep my ends healthy. So, and I really don't care if they don't change color very much, so I really just want to protect that. And then the next thing I'm going to do is put some around the perimeter of my face. So if I get any dye on my forehead, it will protect my skin. Now, the reason I have the volume 10 cream developer is that the higher the developer number, the lighter it can lift your hair color. So if you use a 20 developer, it will lift your hair color lighter than a 10 would. If you used a 30 or a 40, it would lift it even more, but it will also be more drying for your hair. So where you have gray hairs, you don't want to put a high developer because your gray is already going to be kind of resistant to the color as it is. So if you add a lower developer, your hair at where it's gray will absorb more color and not lift as much. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the 10, and I actually then just add a few drops of the 20. I've learned how to tweak this formula so much myself at home that I know how to kind of eyeball it. But if you do it sort of like half and half, you'll get a 15. And I just put it in this dish, and then I mix it up. I've got rubber gloves, but I'm not gonna put them on just yet. And what I'm gonna do is just place that developer right onto the resistant gray areas first, and let that just kind of sit there before I put the color on, and then it will take the color better. And also it will not fade as easily. I just get my part. You know, if you have gray all over, you will probably just go with the 20 developer and that'll be fine. But I just find that this works really well in my temple area and in my hair naturally parts right here. So I hit that area too. And I don't really worry about the rest of my hair. I'm sure that I have white strands here and there all over my head, but I'm just going to do this right here in the temple area and in my part. All of it, because I don't like to waste anything. I'm the type of person who cuts tubes in half to get every single drop out, and I don't really like to waste, so I'm just going to use it all. Okay, so there's that. Now, this is where we get a little bit down and dirty. I'm putting on my gloves and I'm gonna give this another shake. And I'm gonna start in the areas where I have the most concentrated gray, or for me, the parts where you can see the gray the most. So I'm gonna go down my part first. And this isn't going to be precise like they would do it in the salon, because this is at-home color, you know, so I'm gonna be doing some things here that they probably won't do in the salon. And, you know, it's not professional, but that's okay. I'm only doing it to myself, so I don't mind. Now I'm gonna go down this area here. And this area will have the color on the longest, so, you know, I want it on now so it can process the very longest. Okay. All right, so now it's on all the areas that I really want it to cook for the longest. And I already did this part, so now I'm just gonna take a little section here with the back of my comb and work my way around my head. And I will fast forward through this part because all I'm doing is applying color, and I don't think I'm telling you anything that's really important. It's just the color that I mixed up, and I'm just gonna be applying it all over my head. Okay, I have one whole side of my hair done, about 1/3 of the way down. Now I'm gonna do the other side, and then I'm gonna wait about 10 minutes and then pull it down through the length. Now I'm gonna do something that you would never see them do at the salon, but I'm gonna take my fingers and just make sure I'm working it into the roots of my hair, so all of my roots have color on them. This is just a measure to make sure that I've left no hairs uncovered. Now, I also like to take my comb and comb it through. And I will rinse out this comb because I do use this comb for lots of other things too, but it's a nice plastic comb and I can rinse it out, and then I could even use it in the shower when I apply my conditioner later. When my hair was long, I used to have to use a lot of clips, a lot of these clips to keep my hair pulled back while I'm waiting for the color to set, but I only need like 2 or 3 of them now. So I'm gonna let this set on my hair for a total of 30 minutes. So I'm gonna start the clock now that all my hair is colored. I'm gonna time it for 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna come back and pull the color through to the ends for the last 10 minutes. So I'll be back. Okay, so it's been 20 minutes and I'm going to go ahead. I took my hair down, and now what I'm gonna do is take it in sections, and I'm just going to cover the roots with color, or the roots. I'm gonna cover the ends with color. You know that I've already put coconut oil on the ends, so it will protect them from absorbing too much color. And this is where the clips really come in handy. And This is not how they do it in the salon either, but this is how I do it. I just make sure, I'm looking in a mirror here and making sure that as I pull my hair into sections that it's really colored, it's really covered with dye. Okay. Even though my hair's short, it's still super thick, so it does take a lot of color to get through all my hair. You might not need as much depending on the thickness of your hair, or you might need more if you've got thicker hair than mine. Yeah, I'm a mess. I've got dye on my arm. I am going to let this set on my hair for the next 10-15 minutes, and then I'm just going to get in the shower and I'm going to take a warm shower. And I know some people say you're not supposed to, but I will use a sulfate-free shampoo that is okay for color-treated hair. And I'll do one shampoo, and I'll also condition my hair with this Ion After Color treatment. It helps smooth your cuticle, close it up, and lock in your color and make your color last longer. So I'll be using this. And then the next time you see me will be tomorrow morning when it's daylight and my hair is finished and it's all dry and everything, because there's really nothing else to add except rinsing it out and then letting it dry. So we'll see how it looks tomorrow morning. Good morning, everyone. So I'm back. It's the following morning after I colored my hair, and this is the finished result after one shampoo. And as you can see, it definitely looks darker. It's not as blonde as it was. And I think it was a really good idea to add that sunlit brown to the formula. I'm gonna link all the colors I used down below, but I think it made a big difference in deepening the color of my hair without making it a brighter red, which is not what I wanted. I wanted it to not be so blonde, but not be a brighter red, if that makes sense, because adding more red to the formula would have deepened the color, but it would have made it a brighter red. So adding the sunlit brown to the formula really made a big difference, and I think I'm gonna keep on doing this. And as you saw, it was just a couple of drops that made such a huge difference. So this is the finished look, and I'm gonna shut the light off so you can see how it looks in front of the window in natural light. So there, I shut off my ring light, and I will bring you in close to take a look. Roots. And as you can see, the whites that I had are definitely now just more of a golden brownish red or reddish brown. And I'm really happy. So this tweaking of my formula has helped some of you as well. And I hope that you enjoyed this, how I get my best strawberry blonde hair at home video. Please, as always, ask me any questions below, leave me any comments, and I just love interacting with you, especially when it's about coloring our hair at home, because that's something that I really am so thankful that I learned how to do on YouTube, and I'm always so happy to help you achieve the results you want as well. So I hope you all have a very blessed and beautiful day, and I'll see you next time.